had a.
I'm sorry, I'm cussing so much.
No, you good.
Like,
I can edit.
I'm unfiltered.
This one be for YouTube.
Okay, good, good. Well,
so,
then,
but you say the full version on YouTube.
Yeah. What happens when your boy wins $40 million?
Some zeros get added. A lot of things.
Bro, that's a movie, bro. Yeah. Like, if you really want to hear that story, that's an unbelievable story. Bro, that's movie worthy. Yeah. I'm not joking. Like, it is the craziest shit you've ever. Bro, if I told you, Alan, you're gonna think I'm lying.
All right. There we go. We done got some content now. I remember that.
Listen, they get into like BMF stuff, like yo, crazy. I'm talking about. Yeah. It get into like strip, like Onyx. It get into trips.
Yeah.
I'm crazy, but like stuff I've never. It's like, if someone else did this, they are mega rich. Like they're either famous or, you'd have to be famous. You'd have to be rich and famous to like do some of the stuff he would do.
Yeah. I don't think I'm even doing interview style.
Okay.
I'm just gonna let you talk. I'm gonna chop it up.
All right. Yeah. He's the nigga you've been talking the whole time.
Right. Now you quiet.
All right. That's so good. All right. Well, my name is Brandon A. Thomas. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia. You already know. I play guitar and I love music. Well, I started playing guitar in high school in 12th grade just because I had to take a class, and that was the class. And so I just started playing in there because you could get a free guitar, have a guitar during the class. And then the first time I picked it up, I could just already kind of do it for some reason. Because I love music, and it was just it was already in my head. So once I had a medium, it was just like, oh, you can, okay, and I did that. That's how I started playing. But then I guess I started getting into the live thing because, you get friends who are like, oh, you're dope. Come play on, come to the studio or whatever. Then someone's at the studio and they're like, hey, you're dope. Come play on my gig. And then it just snowballed from there, you know what I mean? But I really just love music, you know what I mean? It ain't even necessarily like about the guitar for me, I love how songs are put together. I love the recording process, the production process, how songs like spring up out of nowhere, how some songs just come all in one piece, how some songs like take a group to put it together, how some songs have a gestation period of like people have to do versions of them before they become like the version that everyone's like, oh yeah, that version. Like I'm super fascinated by that. Yeah.
So I can recall probably one of the first times I met you was at the studio out in Decatur. What led you? I don't know, but you were working with the artist Mereba.
Oh yeah.
And that, she's doing big things too. So what brought you to that point since starting playing the guitar?
Like how did I meet Mereba?
How did you get into that studio position? Because you were up there all the time. From what I heard, you were like running a lot of things up there, or owned it or something. I don't know.
Okay, man. Like, if you really want to hear that story, that's an unbelievable story. Bro, that's movie worthy.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. Like, it is the craziest shit you've ever. Bro, if I told you, Alan, you're gonna think I'm lying.
All right. There we go. We done got some content now. I remember that.
Listen.
Yeah.
I don't know how. Listen. How I ultimately is through music, but okay, so I met an artist that I was playing with. We had a band, and that band eventually got a gig all together to go play on tour for Angie Stone. So me, Killer, Carlos, and Detox.
Okay.
But the dude who we were playing with, this dude Eddie Fontaine, like maybe 2 years after that, him and this other dude who used to be at our gigs won the Powerball.
Okay.
For $70 million.
Wow.
And so suddenly I had a friend, a musician friend, who he took home like basically $40 million. And he allocated $1 million of it towards trying to get Mereba into and all of those. So the shortest version is that, like, now the what happens when your boy wins $40 million?
Some zeros get added, a lot of things.
But that's a movie, bro. It is. It's just there's I've never, some of the stuff that I witnessed during that, some of the story, I've never seen it on another movie.
So it was a good time.
It was a good time. Okay. But still just unbelievable niggadom.
Okay.
It was unreal. Like, bro, the hoodest things I've ever seen. Like, I've never even heard this on another lottery store. Like a similar path, but bro, telling you.
How's everybody doing now? From that,
one is passed. I mean, he went out like, but one is we good. We be hanging all the time.
Okay.
But
rest in peace.
Yeah. But it's crazy. It's got BMF. It get into like BMF stuff, like yo, crazy. I'm talking about. It get into like strip, like Onyx. It get into trips. I'm crazy, bro. Like stuff I've never. It's like, if someone else did this, they are mega rich. Like they're either famous or, you'd have to be famous. You have to be rich and famous to like do some of the stuff he would do. It's just like, that is crazy that you did that.
just he checked it off his list one by one.
I mean, and so by proxy, I reaped some of the benefits of it just by being what we talked about earlier, just by trying to have morals and standards and be fair and be like good to people. I ended up reaping the benefits just from being myself, is all I'm saying. So that's how I got in that studio.
I think being a musician and just doing music and being an artist, you have an opportunity to meet like a lot more people than a typical person goes to a 9 to 5 and goes home. So
100%.
I think those stories and those places that we are in, we get to meet and shake hands and become friends with people in many different circles, which is amazing. And then that story is even more amazing because it was like one of your homies in your circle and y'all were able to just expand and experience different things. That's super dope.
You do. I definitely don't think like the average person has a real idea of how many more people you get to meet if you're a musician, because like the music like transcends all this stuff. It's like everybody. So you just get to meet so many more people. Like I think you like really have to have like a mental, like your mental Rolodex got to be a little bit amped up to do this, because you're gonna meet on a daily basis. It's like, and then you get to go into like festivals and like going to like NAMM. Like how many people do you have to like, you know what I mean? After shows, talking to fans, talking to promoters, and it's like you gotta really like you gotta have it really tight. You know what I mean? That aspect of like your human like facial recognition is like, what's this person's name? Like, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta be on it.
So when I was learning to play guitar, like basically like 2000, early 2000s, like 2000, 2001, 2004, 2005, through there. Everyone knows that John Mayer was like, he was John Mayer then.
Yeah.
And like, that was always like a point of reference for like a badass guitar player.
Yeah,
Whether you like him or not, I don't know all that. But like a total badass.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, this dude, he can sing. He can sing down, and playing guitar, he can go off.
Yeah.
So I like a lot of other music and a lot of other guitar players, but he's just definitely one. It's like, yeah, it's like John Mayer, duh. So skip forward to like 2018, and him and Leon Bridges they know each other,
mm-hmm.
and somehow he's coming to sit in with us at Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah.
And there was a song he was playing on, it's called Misses.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of more of it's like a bluesy kind of thing, and I lead it on guitar, but John Mayer's sitting in, so it's like there was no conversation. It's like, what's John gonna do? It's just like, we just let him do his thing, you know. Yeah. And it's like all his like gear and his guitar tech are here, and we come into the sound check and we just start playing. It's like one of those moments where, you know, sometimes you got to have that conversation, like, what key are we in? What are, like, you know, which is fine. But this was one of them things when nobody ain't say nothing. You know, he was just like, let's strike it up.
Man.
And we struck it up and we started playing it in the sound check. And I just did my part, but he was set up next to me, and he just came like over and started playing. Like, you know how like when we playing the thing, it's like we leading it. It's like he came over and he just was like locked in with me, like boom, like playing the song, like bum bum bum. And like we never said a word, we never had any conversation, but he was like, the vibe was crazy. What? And so that was crazy. The sound check. Yeah. And then that was amazing. And I have a picture of it on my Instagram, and it's this picture, and it looks like he's floating, like levitating. Mm-hmm. He's just maybe bouncing, but the picture, the angle of his feet, it looked like bruh's levitating. Mm-hmm. And he pretty much was levitating. But then we get to do it again later on in Hollywood Bowl. And it was just, and it's like on YouTube, and it's like, and I got a picture of it in my studio, just like me and John Mayer, like, so
talk about full circle.
I mean, so that was just a cool moment. Yeah. And that was probably one of the coolest moments for sure. But it's hard to narrow it down to like, you know, that one moment, because then, you know, that was a whole tour. So you can imagine if that was one night of a tour, just with the whole, you know.
No, that's a memory.
But
that's
then I've had like magical experiences at Apache on a Tuesday. Uh-huh. And it's just, I don't know what it was, just a vibe.
Yeah.
I mean, like absolutely magical.
I know what you mean.
Like, and that was almost, those are almost more important in the like whole picture of like those little, when it's like, cause that made me want to like, I want to play music. I mean, you want to play for stadiums and like, but like, some of that like Atlanta, like them jam sessions. I hate to like just say it's a jam session, but just some of those music experiences.
Yeah. You get that Gallery 992.
Gallery 992.
Black Music Mondays. 10 ATL.
10 ATL.
Apache off 3rd Street.
Apache off of 3rd Street. And I'm even talking like, I'm talking about like Django's. Remember like back in the day, like Django's.
What's that, off of Peachtree Street?
Yeah, it was off of Peachtree Street.
The corner right there. I remember that spot.
Right across from the hospital. Like, I'm talking about like that. I don't know if you remember Mocha Match Cafe.
No, I don't remember that one.
It was on the Cab app, but I'm talking about some of them joints, and like, just like kind of like, and getting to experience the neo soul movement. Like some of that stuff is almost more important, or just like, you know,
we had some Timeless Tuesdays.
Timeless was going up, bro.
a Vegas at the music room.
Yeah. I'm not capping. Like I'm proud of those.
Yeah.
Like those were some vibes.
Yeah,
like,
you brought the crowd out too. That music room, that was pushing. You and your bag there.
Yeah.
Every week though. Was it? No, every month.
It was every week.
Oh yeah,
it was every week.
Hey, but that was a dope. That was a dope spot. You had that cover charge on there.
It was. I could.
It's a little steeper than
look,
I couldn't
afford to do that. Musicians come in for free, man. Like I charged myself a cover to get in.
Yeah, you know, I think I paid. I might owe you some money at least once or twice.
No, it's all good. You're good. No, you know.
Once I started coming in there and playing, I know I get.
You done more than paid it back of putting me on mad gigs. So
those are good times.
Yeah.
Because I know we got older, really ain't got that much time to do all that stuff. But you know, time was had. And that's why I don't really want to be in the moment more when I'm doing these different journeys through the music things, because you're in so many cool places. And if you're thinking about where you want to be, you can't really enjoy this special moment where you're sitting here next to this and sitting here next to that, meeting this person, meeting that person, traveling here, traveling there. All at the expense of your talent. Something nobody can take away from you.
And man, like I just say, like, man, the opportunity to go all over the world. It's like I've been to every continent. I've seen like some of the most beautiful like sunrises, sunsets, mountains, oceans, people, like going to festivals all over the world and seeing artists is like just seeing some of the dopest artists on like a huge stage and like everybody going crazy. Like so many, like I can't even begin to name them because it's just too many. It's like, you know what I mean? But that in and of itself, like traveling all over the world, incredible. Like, the John Mayer is like a moment, but like the whole thing of like where I've gotten to go, like without even necessarily being like super intentional on like, I want to travel, I want to go. Like I was never like super intentional.
But I think God bless you with the experience. And then he did it in a big way where he put you on the like one of the top charting artists. He's major, huge. Everybody knows who Leon Bridges is on all demographics, which is a beautiful experience. So it wasn't just like, man, you're just that just opens up. I know it was just like, oh my gosh, thank you. This is the experience. It's been amazing.
But
such on a high level, it's just got to be a great.
And even
great
the
time.
story of how like I eventually got connected to Leon is another one of those where I'm telling you, you press any button, it'll go to the thing.
The least person you expect. Was it?
Bro, I promise. I was with Anthony David, and it's funny because it's on YouTube. I was with Anthony David sometime in 2012, and I was doing this radio show. This dude, Taye, he got this radio show, and Anthony David came in to do an acoustic performance. And Taye was like, bro, you dope. And I remember afterwards, he was like, yo, let me get you. He kind of like a New York, I don't know where he's from, but he give me like New York vibes. So he was like, yo, let me get your number, boom, 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 and put it in. Like, so skip forward 2 years later, he gave my number to this dude named Ravi. I don't know Ravi. And Ravi is an assistant to this dude, Efe. I don't know Efe. Efe is managing this artist named Grace, who's from Australia. I don't know Grace. They hit me up they just hit me up. They're like, Taye gave us your number. They said you dope on acoustic. They're like, yeah, can you come and do an audition?
You said what time?
I said what time? So I come in and they had me sitting outside at dark. I'm in the little lobby and I hear them inside playing with someone else, you know, like a guitar player and a keyboard player. They're already doing auditions with someone else. Got me outside for like 30, 40 minutes. And then F.A. walks out and he's like, oh, who are you? He's like, oh, well, if you want to come in here, cool, whatever. And so they had already kind of like locked in who they had. But they were like, well, since you're here, you want to just play? So the other dude was like, well, yeah, go ahead. Cool. And I started playing. We played one song. She was like, what do you want to do? It was a keyboard player and great. She was like, what song you want to do? And she was like, you know Human Nature? She's Australian. She's like, you know Human Nature? Started playing Human Nature. Me and the keyboard player, we vibing. She was a vibe. The one song. And then she's like, oh, let's do one more. And so we did that Kendrick, that Pull Up Drank, but like an acoustic, like pretty version. Did them 2 songs. And then it was like an awkward silence, like, okay, well, cool. Well, then the audition was over, and then they hit me up after that. They hit me up like a few hours later. It was like, yo, we want you to play. They were like, we're going on tour next week. Like we're going on tour next week in Europe for 30 days, opening for Leon Bridges. Mm-hmm. Just like that.
Yeah.
And then I'm not playing with Leon Bridges. I'm playing with Grace on tour with Leon Bridges as an opening act. We go on tour for 30 days. It was dope as fuck. I keep playing with Grace for like a year and a half. I gave my number to someone in Leon Bridges, who's the person who discovered Leon Bridges. He never texted me. He never called me until the first time he texted me, and the only time he really texted me or contacted me a year and a half after that was to say, he was like, yo, Leon Bridges is looking for a guitar player. I'm moving on. I'm going to do some other things. I wanted to put your name in the bag.
Okay.
He never texted me before this.
Yeah.
He wasn't like hitting me up. We weren't like boys, like, yo, like, I mean, we're cool. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then long story short, I got in Leon Bridges, but it really started, if I can trace it back to like I mean, I could say Anthony David, but I'm just saying Taye.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, yeah. You know what I mean? But, and this was an acoustic, little insignificant, you know, like.
All day.
All day.
And and one thing you said in that whole thing, that you also stated, that whole vibe that you create with Timeless Tuesdays, all these Atlanta venues that we have going on, practicing these songs over and over and over and being
over
ready
for it. It's like, oh, you want to do that?
It's time
Bam.
to put in the situation, and there we are. So it just goes to the importance of show of the underground community in Atlanta of musicians and the places that it can take you and excel you to.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's so important that we advocate for support of the creatives, because it really does foster something unimaginable. And I think everybody has a story that people don't really know the depth of the experience that you really got to experience by being a creative and a musician.
Yeah, man.
And how it was fostered right here, and people get the same
right here
level of entertainment and expertise that they would get with a professional artist, and they can get it for little or nothing, just coming out to support.
Yeah, and bro, and this is huge. Another thing, people, and it's interesting when I go out and tour with people, especially in Leon Bridges per se, it's like we got 20 people. No one's from Atlanta. There's one other person from Atlanta, but so there's just 18 people not from Atlanta, and you're on tour talking to them. I'm always talking about my city. Yeah. And like sometimes they don't understand why. Yeah. And it's like, for the very reason you're talking about, I'm always like, I'm on tour, like putting on for my city, giving it the credit for like, yo, I'm here because I'm from Atlanta and I got all these dope cats around me. It's like, I'm like, by proxy, like I'm dope automatically. And that's how I got here, just by being around dope cats in Atlanta. So it's like, I'm always giving it credit, and it's like, they don't understand why, but that's really why.
That's huge.
That's huge for sure. They're in like, cause you know, I'm in Brazil, nigga. I'm in goddamn Finland, motherfucker. I'm in goddamn Kenya, motherfucker, out here repping like A-Town shit. It's like everywhere in the world. I'm about like, bam, I'm wearing my Brave shit. You know, I'm a baseball cat. Bro, I'm out here repping. But it's
because
like,
not every city has this luxury of just so many just creatives in one spot who are mature enough to come together, unite, do something consistently every week. And it's really been a journey. And I credit most of my learning from the streets. The streets and YouTube. And that's really the streets, because people uploading from the streets what they told one another person. Wasn't an institution like schooling. No, it's just from networking, talking, go to these jams, doing things.
And too, look, let me tell you how like she be coming full circle. So look, my boys would just say they got the money. We went down the Marion thing, didn't exactly work out. However, there's a project out there that's under the name of that record label that they have, Red Cotton. That's like 5 like Marion Mereba songs. Because you know, she's just Mereba now. But these are under Marion Mereba. And they're like dope songs, but that didn't work out. But let me tell you, I come full circle. Skip forward like this is like maybe like 6 or 7 years later, and I'm on tour with Leon Bridges in LA, and we play where the Lakers used to play, the Palladium.
Yeah.
Played the Palladium, and there's like, it's LA. Leon's pretty fucking famous at this point. So there's all these like, you know, just dope people. But anyway, I end up seeing Marion again, and it was just like, it was cool. Like everything was, we didn't even talk, but it was just like, oh, you know what I'm saying? And it was just dope to like, our paths crossed anyway.
Yeah.
On, you know,
random.
She's doing like big, amazing things. And then, you know, I, of course, was playing the Palladium.
Yeah, there you go. That's amazing.
You know, with the super dope artist, and just, it was a vibe. So like, it was just kind of like a cool, like, full circle. And that's the thing too about like music industry and like music circles, is that they are like by no means like, it's just like, you know how like in like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, like the original one is like all the buttons. He was like, a button goes to everywhere in the factory. I haven't pressed this button, but it's just like, in order for this thing that he's talking about to work, a button to go anywhere in the factory, you know that underneath there, it's not no like straight lines. It's like shit can just must be able to go this way and that way. And like, that's how the circles are connected. So someone can steal your money and like, but who he knows, somehow he can work, but he still knows this person who is not connected to all these people that are connected to the steal, who know who knows or aware that he might do that. And you can just go this way and you can just end up crossing paths with somebody in the you just never know where. You know what I'm saying? And it's by no means linear or like, it don't look like this. It's like, it's just like, it's a twisted noodle brain looking